Hi, good day everyone. I'm Valderama and this time I'm going to discuss chapter 14 that talks about insurance law. So here we have our learning objectives. First, enumerate items that can be insured by a tourism establishment. Second, identify the rationale behind the concept of insurance. Third, explain the different kinds of insurance. And last, identify the advantages and disadvantages of having insurance. So we have here our topic outlines including the definition and concept, insurable interest, beneficiaries, fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance, fire insurance, compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance, and war risk insurance. So, introduction. Insurance is crucial for tourism companies due to the numerous risks involved. Employers can subscribe to group insurance, property insurance against fire or earthquake, and marine insurance for sea transportation. The insurance code now PD 1460 governs insurance contracts, while PD 612 governs insurance contracts in the Civil Code of the Philippines. So first law is we have the definition and concept. According to section number 2, a contract of insurance is an agreement whereby one undertakes for a consideration to indemnify another against loss, damage, or liability arising from an unknown or contingent event. So an insurance contract consists of an insurable interest, risk assumption by the insurer, distribution of actual losses among similar risks, and payment of premium. It is aleatory, meaning obligations depend on an uncertain event or uncertain to happen at an indeterminate time. It is a contract of indemnity where value is exchanged for value with a valuable consideration given. Both parties are bound to do something, and a policy is required to be issued and paid. The parties in an insurance contract are the insurer, insured, and beneficiary. Insurance contracts can be life, fire, marine, or personal accident insurance. They are considered a contract of adhesion with provisions drafted by one party, usually the insurance company, with the other party's participation only. Contracts are construed liberally in favor of the insured and strictly against the insurer. So we have the next law, which is the insurable interest. According to Section 10, states that every person has an insurable interest in their life and health, including those dependent on them for education, support, or legal obligations that may be delayed by death or illness. According to Section 13, states that any interest in property, whether real or personal, or any relation to it that could directly indemnify the insured is an insurable interest. According to Section 14, outlines the types of insurable property interest, including existing, induced, and expectancy-based interest. According to Section 15, it states that carriers or depository entities have an insurable interest in their own assets up to the extent of their liability but not exceeding its value. So, an insurable interest is a relationship with a person or thing that supports insurance policy issuance. It exists on the date of the insurance execution and risk occurrence, while an insurable interest in a person's life and health must exist when insurance takes effect. So we have the insurable interest in group insurance. Group insurance allows employers to insure their employees' lives at the lowest possible cost, creating goodwill and attracting a permanent class of employees. It provides life or health insurance coverage for many individuals, and employees must be actively at work and have completed a specified period of continuous employment. Non-forfeiture clauses are generally present, except for term insurance. If an employee leaves the employer, they can convert the group insurance into any standard form of insurance within 1 month. So next, we have the insurable interest in property. In property insurance, an insurable interest must exist when the insurance takes effect and when a loss occurs. In marine insurance, ship owners have an insurable interest even when chartered. The measure of an insurable interest is the extent that insured might be indemnified by loss or injury. Policies providing more than actual loss and indemnity are contrary to law. So next law is the beneficiaries. According to Section 18, No contract or policy of insurance on property shall be enforceable except for the benefit of some person having an insurable interest in the property insured. According to Section 19, an interest in property insured must exist when the insurance takes effect and when the loss occurs, but need not exist in the meantime. An interest in the life or health of a person insured must exist when the insurance takes effect, but need not exist thereafter or when the loss occurs. So insurance cannot be lawfully procured in someone's life if they have no insurable interest. The assured must have an interest to preserve the life to be insured, as mentioned in Section 10 of the Insurance Code. For property insurance, the beneficiary must have an insurable interest in the insured property. Interest in the insured person's life or health must exist when insurance takes effect. So next is we have the fire, marine, and third-party liability insurance. So marine insurance, according to Section 99 of Marine Insurance, covers various types of property and interest related to navigation, transit, and transportation. It includes insurance against loss or damage to vessels, craft, aircraft, vehicles, goods, freight, cargoes, merchandise, and other assets. The insurance also covers persons or property related to marine, inland marine, transit, or transportation, including liability for loss or damage arising from construction, repair, operation, maintenance, or use. It also covers precious stones, jewels, jewelry, and precious metals. The insurance also covers marine protection and indemnity insurance, covering loss, damage, or expense incident to ownership, operation, chartering, maintenance, use, repair, or construction of vessels, craft, or instrumentalities in ocean or inland waterways. So the phrase perils of the sea or perils of navigation includes only those casualties due to the unusual violence or extraordinary action of wind and wave, or to other extraordinary causes connected with navigation. A loss which, in the ordinary course of events, results from the natural and inevitable action of the sea, from the ordinary wear and tear of the ship, from the negligent failure of the ship owner to provide the vessel with proper equipment to convey the cargo under ordinary conditions, is not a peril of the sea. Such a loss is rather due to what is called as perils of the ship. In such a case, the insurer does not undertake to insure against perils of the ship. So next law is a fire insurance. According to Section 167, as used in this code, the term fire insurance shall include insurance against loss by fire, lightning, windstorm, tornado, or earthquake, and other allied risks when such risks are covered by extension of fire insurance policies or under separate policies. So fire insurance is a contract of indemnity against hostile fires with the insurer determining the actual loss. In a valid policy, the valuation is conclusive between parties. So next is we had compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance. According to Section 373 of the Land Transportation and Traffic Code defines a motor vehicle as any vehicle used for transportation of passengers for compensation. A passenger is any fare-paying person being transported in a motor vehicle, including authorized persons or vehicle operators. A third party is any person other than a passenger, including the owner or operators of motor vehicles for passenger transportation, including school buses. An insurance policy is a contract of insurance against passenger and third-party liability for motor vehicle accidents. So according to Section 374, it prohibits land transportation operators from operating on public highways unless they have an insurance policy or guarantee in place to indemnify third-party or passenger deaths, injuries, or property damage. According to Section 377, it mandates that land transportation operators and motor vehicle owners must secure insurance or make a cash deposit before applying for or renewing registration as specified in Section 374. So before registering a motor vehicle, the operator must secure a third-party liability insurance accredited by the insurance commissioner. It claims for death or injury must not exceed 5,000 pesos and must include a police report, death certificate, medical report, and reimbursement evidence. Claims can only be made against one motor vehicle. So the next law is the war risk insurance. So war risk insurance covers war-related damage, including hijacking. Insurers plan to withdraw liability coverage for weapons of mass destruction, including radioactive contamination, electromagnetic pulse devices, and chemical or biological weapons. So the International Air Transport Association contends that airlines in countries lacking coverage face a competitive disadvantage, with U.S. airlines paying around US$7.7 passenger for insurance. IATA policy in most jurisdictions, including the European Union, airlines are required by law to have liability insurance, including coverage for WMDs. Aircraft lease agreements also require coverage of war risk insurance. Since the use of WMDs is directed against states, the ultimate responsibility for security of citizens rests with states. So we have here our motivational quote. Insurance law isn't just about policies and process. It's about protecting dreams, rebuilding lives, and standing strong when the unexpected strikes. So that's all for chapter 14. Thank you for listening.